Hello, and welcome to a new season, a new series. It will not be UHC like the previous one. I'm sorry if you thought that was the identity we were going for. But mods will tend to be a little more difficult, and it's probably just going to do a lot more generalized stuff. But this is a modded world that we're generating for the first time. I haven't seen the world yet. This is literally the first time it's being generated. But there's no objectives. We're just going to have fun. I looked at a bunch of mods, and none of them fit what I wanted. So I did what any good Minecraft player does. I went into a device, a software that allows you to compile a bunch of mods for a version. And I got a bunch of mods for the version 1.20.2, 1.20.1, and got a bunch of mods, compiled them together, made sure they all worked. Because the first thing I did was I downloaded a bunch of mods, and then I launched the game and it crashed. So then I had to go through, and thankfully I was using a device that had a switch on each mod so I could turn each one off individually. But eventually I got it to the point where it worked and I could load a world. And you'll see that there's a lot on screen immediately. I do have to change the chat things real quick because that's just big. Let's see, we don't need a chat delay, but opacity should be much lower and the size should be about maybe 50%. There we go. So I like my chat with some opacity. We can see I made the advancement Halloween, special advancements during Halloween. It's not October 31st. I shouldn't have to preface with that. This video will be going up before Halloween. Also, as you'll see, difficulty hard. We're going to lock the world difficulty. Are you sure you can't change it? You'll never be able to change it. Yeah, it's fine. As you can tell, it's modded immediately. We got a music mod in there. There's a lot of mods. We're running 140 mods. Here, I'm going to run down the list very quick. We'll go A to Z. If you care enough, you'll see how many there are. I'm going to just scroll through them slowly. It'll be easier to see the mods when we're actually utilizing them. But a lot of these also, whenever you get a bunch of mods together, you have to remember that a lot of them are actually core mods. Mods that are used as a library or as a core device for other mods. This is a common thing. It essentially allows somebody to make a library for, let's say, animation mods. And then all animation mods will use their library. Not all, but many. And you'll see there's probably a lot that you don't see. A lot of tech mods aren't here. I got a bunch of mods that I thought would be cool. A lot of create stuff because I hope to get into that. This is one of my favorite mods, so hopefully I don't get copyright struck for having these in here. But if you've watched any of my videos before, you know I'm a big fan of Fate. So Mahosuke was the first mod I got. What I did to decide the version I would be playing this mod pack on was I asked, what's the highest version of Mahosuke? Which is, I believe, how you pronounce that, because I don't know how to pronounce that. And I saw 1.20.1, and I went, that's the version we're playing on. But there's a bunch of mods in here. I'll scroll through. I can't just get a link for all these mods downloaded for you. And now I have the rights to redistribute any of these mods. And a lot of these mods do have something in them saying, yeah, you can use this in a mod pack, just give me credit. I am not going to compile all the mods onto CurseForge just so you can have an easy download. I'm sorry, it's just, I'm not redistributing these mods. I'm not interested in doing so. Rice. Really nothing in here. Alright, we're going to adjust the settings as we go. But those are all the mods, just in case. Chipped Guardian's Gem. Apotheosis. I haven't played this version of Apotheosis before. Iron Spellbooks, Chronicles of Shadows. So that's Apotheosis, and then Ars Nouveau. How do I get rid of that? My inventory is being displayed in the center of the screen. All right. Glint speed. All right, that's... I think that has something to... Whoops. Okay, none of these are going to help. I don't know why I thought they would. So it's not a video setting. Fancy clouds. No, those will get in the way. I don't think it'll be too big a deal. It's kind of neat to see what's in my inventory. I'm sure I'll get used to it. It's part of some hub improver or HUD mod that I have installed. If it really starts to bother me, I'll get rid of it. But I have a lot of mods in here. The first thing I want to get into is Maho Tsukai because it is one of my favorite mod packs out there. And the reason I like it so much isn't just the anime stuff, but because the animations are pretty sick. So I think if I do this, there we go. Now I have Mahoi in the upper left. I thought these were polar bears the first time I saw them. Is there really no way to turn off? Maybe there's a control. I'm sorry, it is getting in the... Alright, that is not the operator item tab. That's not the... eBay, we're looking for... What would it be? Probably inventory. Extended inventory if unlocked. Inventory still locked. Eat the cake. What does that mean? All right. Well, if that's extended inventory, then what other couriers extended inventory? Oh wait, toggle inventory HUD on and off would be I. Aha, there we go. All right, now that we've dealt with that inconvenience, now we can truly start to explore the world. We spawned in a cold biome. Lots of mods you'll see. As I do mods, I'll try to give credit to whichever mod I'm actively doing. I'm not trying to step on any toes, but gathering a bunch of mods is a little out of my wheelhouse normally. So, wait, I think I have a tree feller, but it only works with axes, so I should have just crafted an axe with the... Oh, well, there's the fast leaf decay. But I just gathered a bunch of mods I liked. And the good thing about constructing my own mod pack, do not have to resort to the balances of another mod pack. So that's one of my biggest complaints with a lot of mod packs. Now I'm going to start by throwing a little bit of shade. I really dislike what all the mods, the mod pack all the mods does. So I haven't played the most recent version. I did launch it to see if it shared the same aspect that I didn't like, and it did. And if you enjoy it, don't let me take away from your enjoyment of it. But when I played all the mods, it had a system where all of the mods were sort of entangled together. Oh, also I do have the bright texture pack that we used in the other survival world just to make things easier to see. It's still a convenience thing, so I'm not getting rid of it. So I'm going to turn down this music a little bit. It's really good. I'm not going to turn it off, but just a touch down. There we go. I think that's perfect. So when you play it, there's a lot of mods in it, and they do something where if you, there we go, full tree cut down, so beautiful. If you decide to go into the end of a mod and you try to rush down the completion of the mod as fast as possible, it will actually gate you from completing the top end of a mod until you start using parts from other mods. So, like the crafting recipe for the top level stuff will require you to utilize, it'll just require you use an item from another mod. I don't mind when mod packs do that. If it's a mod pack that encourages you to do like 3 different magic mods in order to get everything you need, or in order to get to the end of each magic mod, you need to do all 3 of them, I'm fine with that. My problem with all the mods is it doesn't do that. It adds a little module that adds 3 ores. Allthemodium, vibranium, and unobtainium. And all of those are significantly more powerful than most armors from mods and base game stuff and all of that. Now, the reason I have a problem with that is because... Ooh, it's a unique gem. The reason I have a problem with that is because their mod doesn't add anything. It doesn't add anything besides that. Auto smelt, that might be fun. Bin of the Earth, I remember that mod. Soulbound. Respawn, you get it. Projectile protection 2, not very usable. And I don't like that in order to progress a mod, or to progress some of the highest level of mods, instead of having to do like several advancements and several magic mods, right? Like I just said, I'm not going to collect these for now. If I'm dropping one that's really good, oops. But instead of having to, let's say, progress a bunch of different magic mods, right? Like, oh, you have to do Ars Nouveau and Botania at the same time, let's just say. Botania is sort of a tech mod with a magical themology, but still, it's a magic mod. But in order to craft, like, the most expensive ingot in Botania, you need to do Create and Ars Nouveau. All right, fine. It's a little bit of an awkward synergy, that one, but I'm just naming a couple mods. But fine, whatever, right? Oh, to do applied energistics to get the ME system, those meteors only spawn in another dimension. All right? I'm fine with that. It makes it so you have to progress that mod to then progress that mod. That type of synergy, I'm fine with. I enjoy the idea of it. I'm not the biggest fan of it because sometimes I like to just streamline one mod. But I understand. And it can be very appealing. It's sort of more of a completionist thing. Now, my problem with all the mods, it doesn't add anything. I've listed to you what it adds. It didn't add any mobs you have to slay. It didn't add a reason to become stronger. It didn't add an incentive to use these things. It added this little module and put their own name on it and slid it into a mod pack filled with mods that other people created with a lot of effort so that you can use their material to complete other mods. So you have to use their allthemodium to mine their vibranium, to mine their unobtainium, which let me just mention, if it's unobtainium, I can't obtain it. So I can't even progress the mod, which is ridiculous. But you have to use their unobtainium in order to. I'll take a music disc. Golden gloves with them breaking too. Oh, it gives me bonus attack damage. Mind if I do? That's an Aether thing. There we go. But you have to do all of that, and then you have to use their items in order to do more, let's say, Botania. To fight the final boss of Botania, they've scaled that boss so that it's harder. The only way to be prepared for it is if you get unobtainium. Oh, which you get by going and getting vibranium first. Oh, which you can only mine with all the modium. So you have to progress their mod, which adds nothing of actual value. It's just. What is that? Oh, right. I remember these things might have caused lag in a server I played with my friends a while back. So in the worst case scenario, I'll have to get rid of that mod. But I don't think they should get to have the privilege of influencing other mods when their mod doesn't have any love or care to the balance. They just use it so they can change the balance around their items, which is ridiculous to me. Because as far as I'm concerned, the Botania bosses are balanced around Botania. And if I want to use, Mahou Sukai to get a powerful weapon so I can kill that boss, they've changed that. Now I can't do that. I mean, I can because Mahou Sukai is powerful enough, but they haven't buffed the Botania items in turn. All they've done is buff the creatures in it so that you have to work harder to get their stuff. It's ridiculous to me. And I think it's extremely BM. So I'm not a fan of it. Other mod packs, I did look at other mod packs, not just all the mods. Also, another problem, all the mods has like 400 mods, even if like 150 of them, let's say even 200 of them are core mods, right? So they're not actually like that much. It still takes a very long time to launch all those mods. So it's just a lot of a lot of time to load in. This mod pack, I have 140 mods. It takes like a minute and a half to load. I have a good computer. I have a lot of memory, which those of you who have played modded Minecraft know that's the king of load times and lag and everything. There's also 100% CPU usage. The frames I'm getting are frame drops from the game with an occasional CPU spike, but I'm generating chunks, so it's to be expected. But I have that major gripe with all the mods, and it's also very long to load, so I would not be playing it. Also, I don't use over half the mods in there anyway, so it doesn't make any sense. So that's my opinion on the mods, which is why I'm not playing that one. Another problem with that load time is that when it crashes, which mods crash occasionally, sometimes it's because of something devastating, like a corrupt chunk, in which then you're just like, oh god, because that can take forever to fix, or even sometimes impossible to fix. But assuming it's a normal crash from just, let's say, the world got overloaded because you generated a ton of chunks at once or something, then you have to re-wait like the 6, 7, sometimes even up to 10 minutes for that heavy duty mod pack to load everything back and do everything the world has to load. And it can be just a real drag on your mood. And it's not like I made a time, so I really just can't be bothered to load a giant mod pack like that. But that's why we're not using that one. I looked at a few other smaller mod packs from different versions. Also, I want to compare, before I talk about the other mod packs I looked at, I want to talk about a mod pack that does sort of the inverse of all the mods. Something I view as just a better way of doing it. So, Crazy Craft. Some of you may be familiar with it if you're an ancient gamer like me. It uses a core mod called Ore Spawn. And for those of you who know the mod or no Crazy Craft, but don't know exactly what Ore Spawn is, the one that adds the Kraken, Godzilla, the King, the Queen. You know, all those heavy duty bosses that you're fighting throughout. Now, back in the day, the objective of Ore Spawn, pretty much, was to kill the king, then kill the queen. Because the only way to kill the king was with the Godzilla armor. And the only way to kill the queen. Oh, that just poisoned me. It's a sea urchin. And the only way to kill the king. So the only way to kill the queen was with the king's armor and weapon. And it was balanced around that. And it was very not balanced. I wasn't the biggest fan of Orspawn, but I understand its appeal because it's all about getting super OP and facing increasingly super OP stuff with really cool animations. But you would want to fight the queen who has like a billion HP and does a billion damage. What are you? Are you going to kill me? You appear to be a dog. I have some samurai mod. It looked neat. I'm sorry if you don't like the fact that it. Also, I have like a 3D skins mod on. You can see it there around that. I don't have a very 3D skin. My skin isn't built textured. It's built just. I drew it on just to make it work. There's a little bit of like texture, but like you'll see it like on the back. It looks like I'm sort of wearing a cape, but then it's attached to the legs because I drew that on the extra like. It's not made for this 3D texturing. Anyways, that's a tangent. So, what I liked about Crazy Craft is that the objective was you utilize these superhero armors and they give you like all these superpowers when you're wearing pieces of their set so that you can fight Godzilla. And then you wear like 2 pieces of the Hulk set and 2 pieces of Godzilla armor. And that's enough to be able to like fight the king or whatever. I don't know if those numbers are exactly accurate, but the point of the mod pack was to use other mods in order to deal with the primary mod. The goal was not use the primary mod in order to devastate the other mods, or oh, you can only do the other mods if you play the primary mod. No. Orspawn was sort of everywhere. It was kind of like the main element of the entire mod pack, its identity. But it didn't lock you out of doing anything if you didn't do it. And you were sort of encouraged to use these giant Omega mobs as sort of the testing ground for anything you come up with. Now, it wasn't perfect balance, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't. It was still like it had an identity and it didn't force you to use their mod to interact with other mods, which I enjoy. I feel like the order on that is just better. So, ore spawn did it right. All the mods, I think, does it wrong. Also, the one that I really played was had the ice and fire mobs, which are like the dragons and stuff, and they relegated all of those mobs to a dimension that could only be accessed through all the mods materials. And furthermore, all of those mobs were super cracked and could insta kill you, and not all of them were relegated to that dimension. So if you found one, or no, I think most of them were. Some of them were pretty much impossible to find because of that, and they were super cracked. If you came across a dragon, you died. And it wasn't a debate. That's a sea enderman. Something just hit my boat. Ah, the sea enderman. Of course. Hey there, dude. How's it going? You don't have a job. Just chilling? I'll let you chill. So Crazy Craft did it good. All the mods is bad. And that's my opinion. If you enjoy all the mods, do it. Alright, I was talking about the dragon. So these dragons would just one-shot you. Anything, well, of course they do. They're dragons. Yeah, no, but like... These dragons wouldn't just like, oh, hey, haha, one-shot. They were devastating unless you're wearing this armor, in which then you could tank them. Otherwise, don't even bother. Like, it was actually... They were impossible. You couldn't avoid them. And they're like... If you've ever played Ice and Fire, the dragons are like the coolest part. Also, there are other mobs that I just could never find. And in the wild, I think you could find other like creatures, like the mermaids would still just lure you to your death and kill you. It's a cool mod. I enjoy Ice and Fire. It's an unbalanced mess a lot of the time, but I mean the dragon should be powerful. I don't disagree with that. The problem came with the fact that they super buffed all of the Ice and Fire mobs and then made them so they could only spawn so far out. So you would go on and you would have to explore for this great amount of time just to try to find one. And you didn't know if you had the proper equipment unless you're wearing like unobtainium, which is stupid. I shouldn't have to use your nothing mod, a mod that requires no effort, no creativity, no magical voodoo stuff of fun, no engineering machines, just, yeah, you get it in order to do it. And then they had like an even stronger system of armor, which you could only obtain by getting a dragon egg, so that way you could, by killing... So if you killed an Ice and Fire mob, you could then get the dragons, which were super cracked, which I managed to do, mind you. And then once you had it... But by the way, I didn't... Through my objection through unobtainium, I want you to believe it, I did not use unobtainium armor. I got unobtainium armor and used it for a bit. Oh wait, no, I did use unobtainium, and he still died to the dragons because they were an unbalanced mess. But I didn't use an unobtainium weapon. I used the weapon from a different mod. Thank you, Maho Sukai. And that was a grueling experience because I would just keep dying, but I maxed out my Corral Tombstone, so I would always end up with an enchanted key. So I would use the enchanted key to... I used the enchanted key in order to... Is that also Thistle? They're all Thistle. I would use the... It's not ultra hardcore, but I shouldn't just take needless damage. What was I literally just saying? So I would just use the key and I'd teleport back. And I would just rinse and repeat until success. And then eventually I killed one, and then you use their fire By the way, you need to get a bunch of these things. And then you use their fire in order to power these forges just so you could do this stuff. And it was just... It wasn't interesting. They took all the fun of mod exploration out of it as they just forced you to use their mod. And it wasn't an option. You had to. If you wanted to interact with Ice and Fire, you had to get Unobtainium. Because these mobs hit for like several hundred. And that's just absurd. It was unfun. I disliked it. So that's just my complaints. Orspawn does it better. They did apparently upgrade Crazy Craft to like 1.12, I think. So, if you're interested in playing Orspawn, they did update it from way back in the day. Hello, my friend. I will not steal from you. That's a... Ooh, there's more cooked fish, though. I will steal some from you. A lot of raw food that I shall not steal. And these barrels are empty. Alright. Thank you, kind fisherman. And then, so that's just my objection with all the mods. That's my thoughts on Orspawn. Alright, then I looked at some other mods. I looked at 2 RPG mods. An RPG does not mean rocket-propelled grenade in this case. It means role-playing game, the genre. And they were neat. They were definitely interesting. But I didn't care enough about the role-playing elements. I wanted to do more magical nonsense and BS and blah, blah, yada, yada. And one of them was clearly made to be used on like their server. I didn't try out the server, so I'm talking shit without knowing. But I have a severe doubt that that server was going to be clean and playable, and that I was going to be able to find anything of interest. Dang, you do look lost, pal. But that's just check. But I also wasn't interested enough in the mods they had to try it. So there was an online one that had like a built-in server you're supposed to use. But and it was like advertising, like you can claim territory and all that. Yeah, that's just a requirement of a multiplayer server. So I'm not sure you should really be using that as like the selling point, but I get it. You do have to explain that. It is a children's game, but there's trolls online, unfortunately, that are going to ruin the experience for many. And like all of the most convenient like boss structures are absolutely going to be claimed. There's nothing you can do about that. It's just reality. I don't know what's in the structure, so I'm going to set my spawn point over there just in case. There was another one that I thought had a bit more promise than this multiplayer one. But even still, I wasn't looking for a hardcore, like, medieval RPG. Sorry, I took a wrong turn, pal. We'll just get out of your way. Pal, that's your house. I'd cool it with the fire. Wasn't for me. I tried out like 2 other mod packs, but they just seemed a little clunky and big for what I had in mind, and it didn't come with everything I wanted, so I would have had to modify them anyways. So I decided, well, I know what I generally want, and I can add in some more fluff, and I can always modify the mod packs. So, what the hell? Let's just load up a generator, get myself the mods I want, and then we'll balance accordingly. Now, one of my major concerns whenever I make a mod pack is I'm always concerned that I'm going to get a bunch of mods that allow me to do really cool stuff, and there will be nothing to test it against because some of them are only powerful enough to be used against something of the player's strength. And by that, for those of you astute enough to take this little nugget of information, that means that it's only good for PvP and otherwise it's too powerful. And I do love the idea of a multiplayer server. Holy shit, guys, do you see that on the hill? There he is. Wait, but I don't have a saddle. That's unfortunate. Maybe I don't need a saddle. Maybe these don't even allow you to ride them. But it's just sort of, what was I just saying? Hey, can I ride you? No, I can't. Looking cool though, dudes. Wow, that completely ruined my train of thought. So I got a bunch of the mods I went together. I'm always worried about, yeah, PvP. I love the idea of having a mod pack with other players where there's like light PvP available. Like me and one of my friends wanted really badly to do a mod pack where we ended up both going into like the security craft stuff and really like set up like these events to try to defeat the other one inside the base, and you would have to figure out how to maneuver around their base. And he was big into the tech and stuff, and I was big into the magic stuff, so it really would have been like a cool dichotomy because we would be foils of each other. But it's the combination of time and ambition where we both want to do this, but we both also know we need to progress to a certain level in the game to be able to do it. So that was already one step. And then additionally, I'm staying away from the Sparky looking boy with the fishing rod. He scares me the most. And then it's just, when are we going to settle a time? Because we both need, one of us needs to defend. And it would be more fun with more people. But we didn't have the friend group that would indulge us. Like we joined in a mod pack and we saw the security craft, which is where we originally got the idea to do this. And we were like, we should just do, because we were some of the richest people on the server because we had played a lot because we had no lives. So we decided we'll do like a heist for the players. We'll set up like this train rail, and the other players will allow like to try to raid us. And if they succeed, you get a bunch of loot, and it allows us to be more powerful but outnumbered, and set something up for everybody else. And we thought it was a great idea, and it probably was a pretty good idea. But the problem is that we didn't have the time. The other players weren't consistent enough to also play during this time. And we would have essentially been forcing them to hop on to indulge us. And they didn't seem to share the same commitment to it all that we did. And I mean, I'm not going to blame them for that. Me and my friend wanted this a lot, and nobody else even knew we wanted it. So it's like, why would they indulge it? They didn't know about it. Now, some of them, if they were still playing, probably would have agreed. But it's that thing with Minecraft servers that happens with friends, is that everybody's super excited. Somebody pays for a server host, and then everybody teeters off until essentially it's a couple people playing single player. And then at that point, why have a server? And so I prefer multiplayer Minecraft so much. Like, it's not even close. but I don't have the people to do it with. And that's just how simple it goes. And so I engineered this mod pack using a few mods I like. If more mods come out for this version, I can always get those. Alright, I also got a sound mod. There are gears in the dispenser. I mean, the echo is really cool. Oh, now we have diamonds. I mean, it's an easy game. Invisibility scroll. Crafts uncommon scrolls. The Warlord. Firel, the Wild Hunt. Thistle, the Sound of Glass. The Bunny Boots! Immunity to fall damage! Gamers. Oh, there's a lot of slots for stuff. Oh, shoot, I threw it on the ground immediately. There's a lot of slots for things like gloves and stuff. I can put on so many accessories. I do also have jump boost. I'm not the biggest fan of jump boost, but ooh, it's gravitational. More gravity. Plus 5 max HP. This just plays pretty good. It's going to be cooldown reduction. Right now, I'm not worried about my CDs. Oh, right. Oh, right. I took everything important out. I do love the sound from that. I don't remember the name exactly of the mob, but you'll find it if you want it. Blood Step. A blood spell. Oh, the cat shoes. This is a big decision for me because these keep creepers away, but these make me immune to fall damage. Can I put these on like my main feet? No. You got shoe slots? No. I'm sorry, cat shoes. Common ink? No, I'm not interested. Bamboo spikes? Not interested. Iron? You should probably pick it up, but there's not that much, so I'm not interested. The Wilden spike, though, I will take because I like this mod that brings it all in. Alright, I'm already running out of inventory space. We don't need dirt. We'll take some iron. Chainmail horse armor. Oh, Epic Knights mod, that's right. We'll find more. Dark steel. I don't remember how hard it is to obtain. We'll take it now. Alright, we now have full inventory. Oh, and I can jump right up there. Oh, we should do real quick. That dude making noise. We should absolutely cook up 2 logs like that. Where's the noisy guy? Where's the noisy boy? There you are. Alright, and then we'll use this 2 pieces of charcoal to cook up this pork. Turn these 2 into the sticks because you always need sticks. This is what I enjoy about modern Minecraft. I can just run around. I don't have to go mining. I'm just running around doing absolutely nothing of importance. This item is currently only used to get mob heads. 7% chance to drop a head. Okay. Hey, sounds like my odds of getting a Wither Skull from the last season. Am I right? That's a joke for the UHC viewers. Don't worry about it. Yeah, but the cat shoes are good because creepers are creepers. But honestly, the jump boost and immunity to fall damage is going to be huge because I guarantee you I'll fall into something. I mean, it was one of my top priorities in UHC World as well was to get. Oh, that echo is so crisp. I'm gonna have to go caving just to hear it. Because now I'm outside. Just. Oops, I fell. It's beautiful. I'm in love. Area 16 cobble. That's enough to do something with, I'm sure, if I need it. But the goal is just to have fun. I don't have objectives. I'm hoping that there will be things that that will be strong enough to warrant testing strong levels of magic on and such. Because that's always the thing I'm most concerned about, is trying to find something worth doing that in. Enhancer relic allows the creation of elemental items. Elementarium. Yeah, there's a bunch of weird mods I don't know a bunch about, but I'm interested in exploring them. The Worn Notebook from Ars Nouveau. How expensive is the Worn Notebook from Ars Nouveau? Not at all. Goodbye. How expensive is the Chronicle of Shadows? Goodbye. How is the spell? But what is this? Iron's Guidebook. Doesn't exist in the game. Alright. Maybe Wizard's Guidebook instead. No, it's not real. Alright, so this is a 1 of 1. There we got that. We'll save our inventory spots and leave the furnace behind. But as you can see, the performance is doing pretty alright for a modded server. Yeah, it lags and stutters and all that. I can't actually fix that, I hope you know. Even the other world did this on occasion. Oh jeez, this is the end of this island. I don't mind this island, but I'd like to live not on an island. Oh, what is this? This is the cracked gem of the warlord. Of course, the cracked brawler's gem. The cracked brawler's gem again. That is a trapped chest. Yep. Chainsaw. I have a tree capitator mod. That's not as useful, unfortunately. But the enchantment name Chainsaw is funny. I'll give it to that. I'll give it to you there. Oh, we might as well wear these because this gives me swim speed. Oh, that was another fun thing. We loved these apotheosis things. It increases my mana for whichever mod that bar is. I do not need to keep TNT on me. I don't know. I think that's Iron Spellbooks, which is neat. That the apotheosis automatically works with that. That's extremely cool. This could be swim speed, 49 mana, knockback resistance, extra armor. Fall damage is reduced. Nice. Yeah, me and my friend both had a ton of swim speed. Like we had some swim speed armor that was just hilarious. We had a good time. Man, I wish people were real so I could play Minecraft with them. That was a joke. I would never play Minecraft with people if they were real. I guess I'll end this one right here, just sort of as an introduction. Minecraft's back, baby. I told you it'd be back. And for those of you who are confused, oh God, what is that thing? It's in my boat now. I just let the fish free. You can't get me on land, idiot. Yeah, look at you. Happy October, everybody.